This is NOScast here, episode 32. We have Itchy here.
Howdy.
Howdy. So what are you doing around these parts?
How you doing, partner?
How you doing, partner?
You've been playing some Red Dead 2, I see.
Yeah, I
Well,
have been playing
not
Red
the
Dead
past
2.
couple days. I've been seeing you play Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
How's that?
So, okay, so how much have you put into Red Dead 2?
How much have I put into it? I didn't beat it. I played the campaign pretty far.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of online.
I haven't put any online into it, by the way. So my prediction is gonna be all based on the campaign, okay, or my opinions on it, okay, because I haven't played any online. But my opinion on Red Dead 2 is that it's a masterpiece.
Oh, for sure. It's an artistic masterpiece.
Well, like Red Dead 2, because like I was really skeptical on GTA 6, and I still am, but Red Dead 2, it was a total masterpiece. Like of course, like some games have some fuck ups and shit and changes in the whole nine, but like when you go on it and play the campaign, it was like everything was precise, pristine graphics. Like the footprints of when you stepped in the snow, you saw every footprint.
So much detail.
So much detail.
I think for those aspects, because like some of the things that people said negatively about the game, I think is pretty fair. For instance, the level of detail that they went into is both beautiful and wonderful, but at the same time, like some of the stuff kind of made the gameplay at certain points kind of slow because of the whole cinematic experience. I like the cinematic experience. I have nothing against that stuff. I can't say that those people's arguments though are invalid, because like for some people they're not after that. It's that type of experience.
Well, I think Rockstar went a little too much on the dialogue. Like, there is a lot. Like, literally, I'm sitting there in some campaign scenes, not bored, but I'm just like, okay, we get it. Like, I kind of tune them out a little bit. Like, of course, I'm watching it, like, I'm seeing what's going on, but it's like, there's so much dialogue to the point where I'm like, okay, can I please go kill people? Can I please go?
Have you done any of the, because like, yeah, that stuff, like the main campaign, like the dialogue is great. I like the movie feel. I like the game feeling like a movie. It feels like both a world that you're actively living in, and it also feels like a major motion picture, right?
Yeah.
At the same but there's other aspects to the game where it's like it kind of leaves that main storyline thing. There's like a side storyline you could do where you just go hunting like like the craziest fucking animals around, which they've done that type of stuff in like Red Dead 1 where you get like Sasquatch and all that.
Yeah, I killed a bear.
Yeah, like did you kill a bear or the bear?
I think whatever was in the campaign, whatever they like told me to go kill, which was a bear. I don't think it was the bear, but I killed the bear.
Because like they have like a version of like some of the main like big bad animals that can kill you. They have a version of them that's just like extra powerful. It's just extra rare and all that. Like, and it's kind of like an Easter egg or like a side mission to go around and hunt all of them.
Yeah.
So like, in a way, like it's a hunting fishing, because you could play that game and not do a single bit of the campaign. You could just fall in love with the visuals of the world and go fishing, and it would be beautiful fishing. And you could just go and sit, make money, go run between the towns, and like sell your fucking fish. You could fucking do that if you want to.
Well, yeah, that's the free roam aspect of it, and like I don't know. Like it's kind of like I kind of just go around and just kill people. Like I kind of like you can get your rope, throw the rope at someone, catch them, and like ride your horse and fucking kill them while they're like dangling off of a rope, and they die.
Right.
And
Right.
like, and then like you can shoot people's heads off, like literally like blow their heads off and shit, which I didn't even know that was a thing because I don't think Red Dead 1 have that where you can shoot people's heads off. That's like
I
even.
haven't played it in a long time. I sort of kind of remember something like that. I mean, the Deadeye is pretty fucking crazy. They went because the slow motion thing. They went into a lot of detail.
And plus, sometimes when you kill people, you go into the slow motion aspect, and that's I feel like, yeah, or some shit like that. That's awesome. But like when you see, and then like I don't know how they do it, it's fucking crazy because like you see the dude killing them, and then you you see the bullets hit their body and like the whole shit, and then it focuses on the main dude, and you just see him just shooting, boom boom, like you see their face reactions and the whole shit. It's kind of like, it's kind of crazy, but it's like
it's supposed to kind of look like you ever see the cowboy movies, like
yeah,
you see them like hand over everybody, and then like you just see the gun pull out, boom 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 boom, and everybody's dead.
Yeah.
But it kind of goes into that like, oh, the reason why he's so good at that is he has this like he can. It's not that he's actually slowing down time, but like when he's going to shoot everybody, it's kind of like time is being slowed down, which is where that like mechanic comes in.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't know, but like Red Dead 2 is a masterpiece. Like I have no doubt that GTA 6 is going to be a masterpiece too, and they're gonna do
Did you
it.
beat Red Dead yet?
Huh?
Did you beat it?
No, I've not beat it yet. Red Dead 2 is I'm only 12% in. I believe
shit. Would you consider playing Red Dead 1 after the fact?
Yeah, definitely.
Because like the storyline, if you're going through the campaign and like once.
Yeah, I know. Red Dead 2 is a prequel of Red Dead 1, and then the Nightmare is a continuation of Red Dead 1.
Right. It's not like really like this. I don't think that's canon. Like I don't think Under Nightmare is canon in the regular. And just in case they decide to continue it, like it's just,
Okay. That would suck if it's not canon.
I don't see why it would be. Like it's just like making a spin-off storyline. It's like, oh yeah, you remember all that happened? Like it could be like the regular Red Dead stuff could be canon in the zombie universe, but the zombie stuff isn't canon in the regular, if that makes sense. So everything that happens in the main story of the game happens in the zombie game, but all the zombie stuff, like if they want to continue the main story, then they gotta basically scrap the zombie stuff.
Which that would really suck.
And then they can still continue the zombie stuff, and it just makes two different storylines that have the same origin.
I don't know how I feel, but that's kind of like, that's if Star Wars made a whole movie, but it's not continuation of none of the others. It's like its own fucking, it's the same origin, but it's like its own different path. That would like not make sense. Like I would think like a person that's a fan of like Star Wars or Star Trek or Marvel or whatever would want it to be in the same storyline as everything else, not just the same origin. But
I'm sure that's how a lot of people feel, but this idea isn't anything new.
Well, no, it's not anything new.
Including Star Wars, when Disney bought it, things that were once considered canon, no longer are canon. Like what's canon is just a flip of the switch. A new writer comes on board, and something that another writer said wasn't canon, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that stuff that the other writer made uncanon, I'm gonna now make canon. So this is how I'm gonna write my stories." That stuff it's not nothing new. That happens.
But but that makes the viewer, as you or me or whoever, is very confusing on the fact of.
It depends on how much the viewer knows about like what's happening. Because like let's say comic books, you could say it's different, but a story is a story at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. You can look at comic books, and you expect somebody who's going to go pick up the Spider-Man versus Zombie Spider-Man to actually believe that's the same storyline as Spider-Man 2099, or Spider-Man 2099 storyline is the same thing as the Amazing Spider-Man? No.
No, but like any Smo Joe will know that because like maybe they're not
Right.
into that. But at the same time, if you look at the hardcore fan base of let's say Star Trek or Star Wars, Dragon Ball Z, whatever, you kind of have to put that in the content as a person that's making a story of whatever. The hardcore fan base is gonna know this isn't real or this isn't part of the so like they look like Disney and all these big companies look at how can we get these Smojo people into the theaters to watch the movie without having to be like, oh, well, I didn't see this, so why should I see this? Like,
Yeah,
they're
it's gonna come down to like how much does the artist care about their art and what they're trying to craft, and how much they want to cater to their fan base. It's kind of similar to like you wanting to like get away from Fortnite, but your fan base really wants you to play Fortnite. So like you're trying to work on a way to get away from it. That's kind of similar to like a new writer gets put onto a franchise and he wants to like kind of move it away from what the previous writer had done. So basically what he's going to do is change the canon because while he's in charge, he writes the story. Or
yeah,
like that happens. And people, yeah, there are people that get upset and there's also people that like already know that that's how it works.
yeah. Like I don't know, like. Well, when you put that in perspective, like, oh, well, you're trying to get away from Fortnite, even though your fans want you to play with Fortnite, that's a little different than you making a movie or TV show and catering to a Smo Joe.
You're an artist, you're making content, and you're putting it out there. You're either going to listen to what any Joe Schmo is doing, or you're going to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different in the very specific things, but like both parties, both you and the movie studio are making a production of content which is getting put out there for people to consume. You as the creator get to decide that, and you're going to face the consequences. Yeah, people could be upset, and the creator of that work is going to face the consequences of that. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's going to be made the way they want it to be made. If they want to make a new canon or get rid of old canon because it kind of stops them from continuing the story, then they might do that.
I don't know. Like, that just.
Do
But,
I
like.
think they're going to continue Red Dead? I don't know. I think GTA 6, with how much GTA 6 cost, and with like Red Dead
Well,
2 made a return. It made its money back, but like some of the stuff they tried to do with it to kind of monetize it kind of failed. They have monetization on it with like you can, just like the money in GTA, you can buy money in it, but you also earn it. But some of the other stuff they tried kind of failed. And Red Dead is nowhere near as big as GTA when it comes to popularity.
oh,
And they did
definitely not.
so much detail in Red Dead, from down to the horse's balls, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah, but, like. But, okay. GTA 5 paid for Red Dead 2. Red Dead
right.
2. It really much looks at maybe GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 paid for GTA 6. It wasn't GTA 5 paid for all of GTA 6 too. No. I would assume Red Dead 2 and GTA 5 paid for GTA 6 to come out.
Well, yeah, Red Dead 2 at least paid for itself. They made money off of Red Dead 2, even though some of the stuff that they tried to do on it failed. Like, they tried to make it a money haven pit just like GTA. It didn't work out the same way. I think it's easier to sell people cars than it is to sell people horses.
Well, yeah, because like it's a horse. Like, how much better can you make a
Yeah.
horse? Like, if it's a car, like there's infinite amount of stuff you can do to a car than you can do to a horse. Like, where like if you can make a horse, if you have a horse and it can fly, people are like, what the fuck is this?
Well, they had magical horses in Red Dead 2, especially after the Undead Nightmare came out. And it would be cool if they made, or not Red Dead 2, I mean Red Dead 1. It'd be cool if they made an Undead Nightmare update for Red Dead 1. But like, I don't, with how long it takes them to go from GTA 5 to GTA 6, the Xbox One did not get a GTA, it had a remaster. GTA 5 remastered. Isn't that they completely skipped a generation. The PS3 had GTA 4 and GTA 5. The PS2 had GTA 3, GTA Vice City,
Wait,
and GTA San Andreas.
GTA 5 was on 360 though.
Yeah, it was. That's what I'm saying. It never like it was not a launch game for Xbox One and PS4. The Xbox One and PS4 version is a remaster. The PS5 and Xbox Series X version is a remaster. A lot of games these days are most of the games that are releasing these days over the past couple of years are just remasters.
Well, that's probably because people don't know what to fucking make and they're scared and they know if they make a remaster, they're gonna make their money back.
Right.
They're
Like
scared.
I think GTA or Rockstar and or Take Two at least Interactive, and what's it called? Bethesda are the master of remasters.
Well, well, yeah, because they know it will make money. Like these not even just Bethesda or Take Two Interactive, but like these companies nowadays are very, they're shy, they're scared to see like if we make a game and if it fucking sucks, that's all money down the drain. When
Right.
you have this game and you know people like it and you know people kind of want a remaster of it, make that fuck it. You'll make their money back.
Right. And then like when you go in that mindset like you're talking about with like, well, you have all these people that are going to be upset and like if every artist, if every company is going to be like where they're going to let's say restrict the kind of art they're going to do because people are not going to like it. Like sometimes the risk is like doing something that people might not like just to be able to find something that like people didn't even know they liked, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that without taking that risk. You're risking losing everything. But like you can't come up with the amazing innovation without taking that risk.
Yeah. I hear you on that. Like it's almost like it, I don't know. It's just these companies are scared. They're scared of their, their people that their investors and shit. And if they don't
Right.
make a good product and their investors upset, they're like, well, fuck, what do we do?
It
Like,
kills their companies. Like if they have all these investors, if you're like self-owned and you don't have a lot of investors but you have enough money to be able to produce a game, make whatever the fuck game you want. But if you're relying on making your investors happy, then you kind of got your hands tied. It's got to be good.
yeah, well,
Like
that's what I'm saying. It's got to be good, or it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? And that's why Activision hasn't made a new IP in like so long because they're milking the fuck out of Call of Duty basically dry, and like Call is now in a downhill spiral because no one's taking the shit from Call of Duty no more. It's like
right. Other games are coming out and innovating better.
exactly, and Activision I think needs to do that. They need to innovate. They need to try something different. Like you're a company and you want to make money. Cool. You have to make money with investors. Cool. But at the same time, you have to make the people that pay money on your game happy also. Because if they're
Right. That's
happy,
the
everybody's
important
happy.
part. What's more important, the investors or the people that actually like pay you and your investors? What's it matter to make your investors happy if the root of them being happy is making your customers happy? If you don't make the customers happy, then you're only in the long run going to disappoint the investors.
Exactly.
But like, in the long run, nobody cares about right now. Like the investment world, right now, nobody cares about the long run. The only thing people care about is making money today.
Exactly, because that's what's gonna make the money. Because
Today, the
today,
long run, yeah, like old school investing used to care more about the long run than like investing today. People today only care about the right now. People back then used to like invest for their future.
and people still do that to invest in the future. But
Right, but a
like,
lot of people are gambling with it. Is my point. Like they're doing.
exactly, gambling is a really big thing with stock. Also, like, you're not wrong. That is a thing, but also invest or the long run is a thing also. Because if you do it for a short time, you have to pay more taxes on it. Cool, but
Well,
if you
that's besides the point. I'm going off of like the reason why companies are doing the things they do. With however many people are doing short-term investments, it kind of pressures the company even more than like long-term investment people. Because if these people are trying to like make a quick buck, then it pressures the company to like make a profit. Because if all these people are investing money in, they have a company might have $1 billion invested in today, but tomorrow that $1 billion is gone. So they have to figure out a way to like make money on it as fast as possible.
yeah, and that's why they have all these microtransactions and the whole shit because it'll make money.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like I would say it's kind of like apples and oranges. You know what I'm saying? Black or white. You know,
Right.
it's kind of like these companies like Activision, EA, and all of them are like pushed against the wall, and they don't
Right.
know what to do. And the investors like, we need you to make money. You know what I'm saying? And the company's like, we'll make you money. And if the company doesn't make money, the investor's like, you are not making me money. I will pull out, and then you're broke, and then you gotta sell your company and the whole shit, and you're bankrupt the whole nine. Because at the end of the day, the investors don't care about the company. They'll just sell their.
Well,
They'll sell.
most of, or a lot of them, yeah. Some of
They'll
them, the company is just another number that's making them money.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. They'll sell their shit faster than you can say hallelujah. Like, like these investors at the end of the day, if the company goes for bankruptcy, the investors still
Mm-hmm.
got their money. They still got their
Not
shit.
all of them. It depends on the tier of investor. A lot of retail investors, if a company goes bankrupt, they're the last ones to get paid out. So like if there's no more money to pay out by the end of it, then like the people who are gonna get pretty much like robbed are the people at the bottom.
Well, yeah, because the higher you are, the more due diligence you have against of the company.
If you're just buying plain old stocks, you're the last person to get paid.
Exactly. Of course, you'll be the last one to get paid because over someone that has $1 billion into company instead of a hundred
I'm not
dollars.
even if they're buying stock, if they're buying stock like off the stock market, you're the last person to get paid.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that part. I thought you were just talking about this person has $1 billion into it, and this person has a hundred
No,
dollars.
like they stocks are not the only way to invest in a company. Is basically what I'm saying. So when a company goes bankrupt, they're gonna basically have to give all that money out to everybody who it belongs to, and they have to pay it out in a certain order. The people who own the stocks are the last people to get it.
Yeah, yeah, I hear what you're saying, and that kind of sucks a little bit
Yeah,
because like you put this money into it, but you're gonna be the shit end of
that's
this.
why I say like I invest my money. I mess around with stocks, but like expect it to go to zero. I put the money in. I hope to make money, but like I'm not putting money in that's like, oh, if this goes to zero, I'm not sitting there at hope like living on a prey that it's not going to go to zero. It might go to zero. I might not get anything out of it.
Well, then you're gonna be shit out of luck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right.
but like
Like I
as
mean,
as long as you didn't put like that much money into it, you're kind of like, all right,
right. It's all about your about like your balance. Like if you're gonna invest, you got to have like a balance. Don't invest all your money in one thing. That's stupid. If it goes bankrupt, you're fucked, right? You want
Yeah.
to have it kind of spread out. But this
Yeah.
podcast isn't really about investing. It was kind of like that kind of goes into the reason why these companies could be not taking risks, could be um, very easily bullied into doing what the fans want.
Well, yeah, like of course, like they're always. I feel like I don't know, like the investors have the money. Like if you're investing company, the investors are gonna get what they want regardless, unless they don't do it. Like what I'm saying, like if they don't do it, the investors are gonna
In
be
general.
upset.
Right. If a company's not doing something, because with the Call of Duty, what do the investors want with Call of Duty?
Money.
Money. Right. They buy into Call of Duty because they know Call of Duty makes a lot of money every year, which is why like typically you see with Activision before Microsoft bought them, you would see a general curve. It was cyclical. You would see the same thing every single year. People would start to buy into Activision right before the next Call of Duty came out, and then right after it came out, the stock price went down because everybody was selling it because everybody just bought the game.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I don't know. Like Call of Duty is on a downhill spiral, and they think what's it called is gonna help, and in reality, it's not gonna help at all. Like, it's really not gonna help. Verdansk.
Verdansk, yeah, if the game's broken, because the game is broken in a lot of ways. Black Ops 6 as a whole is broken in a lot of ways. Like, I still think the game, when it works, is fun. I think the core mechanics of the game, core Call of Duty mechanics that are still there since the beginning of Call of Duty, I think is great. But the game is absolutely broken. It's barely functional.
Now, if you had to compare Black Ops 6 to, let's say, the newer Modern Warfare 2, the newer Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2019, Cold War, Vanguard, you think it's better than those games? Or you think it's like, eh?
Do I think it's better than those games? I'd have to think about them at this time because the sheer amount of content, like with Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, I think Modern Warfare 3 was in a lot of ways a lot better than Black Ops 6.
I agree.
I think the Omni movement is a game changer though. I think the Omni, like you don't even notice it. You play Black Ops 6, you're like, oh, Omni movement ain't shit. But you play Black Ops 6, you go to a different game. You go without Omni movement. You don't realize how much you actually use it until you go to something else.
Well, yeah, because like you're able to move at all corners, left, right, up,
Mm-hmm.
down.
And
Like,
you just don't think about it. A lot of people you hear talking about the Omni movement, they're like, "Oh, the Omni movement doesn't do anything." Yeah, it does. It's
well,
like,
yeah, because that it's the Omni movement's almost like them trying to get into the Advanced Warfare days and shit. Because when
right.
Advanced
And the
Warfare came
rumor,
out, huh?
right, and rumor has it they're going to have wall running in this year's upcoming game.
Which I don't know how that would like. How are they gonna make that into a thing where it's not Advanced Warfare, but you can wall run? Like,
Okay, people can wall run in real life. I've done it. Like you're not making like a million steps on the wall. You're not just like walking on the wall like glued to it. If you're going fast enough, if you're sprinting up at the right angle on the wall, you can take like 4 or 5 steps on a wall.
but like, but even at the same time, like, you have to be going, pretty stable
Fast. You
speed.
have to be running. You have to be running at it, and you have to like. If you don't hit it just right, you're basically just bouncing off the wall.
Well, yeah, you can fuck up your knee, like shit. But like, but even at the same time, like, how would they implement that into a game to make it more smooth, like Advanced Warfare was, where you jumped and you just wall run, like.
You say smooth like Advanced Warfare. I don't really consider after the other Advanced Movement games. I don't consider Advanced Warfare being The wall running.
Wall running wasn't in Advanced Warfare. Wall running was in Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. So how would they implement wall running into a game like the new Call of Duty without having boost jumping, but have it like smooth, where it's like not
Maybe
clunky?
maybe it's completely a part of your stamina. Maybe they don't have you be able to run on the wall as long. It'd basically be the same thing, but probably with a few things tweaked to make it like
Balanced,
yeah,
more realistic, maybe.
more realistic. It's absolutely not going to be the most. Call of Duty's never been. The only thing making Call of Duty realistic in the past was its looks. The game has never been realistic when it comes to like damage and some of the mechanics and stuff. Like I go back to even play like OG Modern Warfare 2, and I go to throw a grenade in that game. I'm not throwing it nearly as far as I am in these modern games.
Yeah. Well, that's because they've upped a lot of shit from these modern games now.
Right.
But I don't know. I hope. Well, I don't know. Like the new Black Ops game, which I guarantee you is gonna be like Modern Warfare 2, the Modern Warfare 3, a continuation of Black Ops 6.
Because all of the Black Ops 6 zombies maps are moving over to next year's game, and I'm hearing a lot of stuff. Because like, remember Cold War, how it had those big maps and the regular maps? Next year, they're planning on doing some of those big maps again.
Like ground war-esque shit?
No. I forget what they're called. You know the zombie maps, like the basically like Battlefield fucking sized maps.
Oh,
like
you talking about
I forget the name of the mode.
I know. I know what you're talking about. They're doing that again?
That's the rumor. Which I mean would make kind of sense, but they're basically not doing that at all for Black Ops 6. They're moving all of the Black Ops 6 zombies maps over to I'm gonna call it Black Ops 7, whatever they call it. And or Black Ops 2 remaster, whatever the fuck they call it.
2025, as what people want to call it.
Yeah, I've heard.
That would be a weird. That would be an off name to call it Black Ops 2025. Like.
Well, shit. If they go and if they do call it Black Ops 2025, then like that would kind of be another marker on my theory that like they're trying to join I mean, it's not even a theory. It is joined. It's one game for all these different games, except it's not entirely. It's one app that connects these several other apps. Each app is actually its own app, but it's connected through one launcher
which
app.
I feel is the most stupidest thing in the world to do. It's the.
You think it was stupid when Halo did it with Chief Collector?
No.
I don't think the idea is stupid.
No. Okay, so like.
I think maybe the way they
Master
did it,
Chief Collection was one app into what Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST,
yeah,
4, and Reach. That's 6 games into one game. And like
they're actually all 6 games running through. It's exactly like how Call of Duty's doing it, where it's one app that launches several different games. All these games are not the one Halo app.
Okay.
The Halo app just connects them. It's just it's exactly like the way Call of Duty's doing it. The only difference is those are remaster games, and Call of Duty's putting their new games out on it. Let me explain something. Is the shaded install, which is a completely separate aspect to it. That has nothing to do with that.
Let me explain something. Okay. You are able to go from Halo 1 to Reach without
and have them connected in the same servers, right? Like you
can go between them without any corruption. Okay, with Call of Duty, you have to literally close, like, let's say Modern Warfare 3 and bring Black Ops 6 up. You know what I'm saying? You have to.
That's because the multiplayer for Halo Master Chief Collection, they had the multiplayer servers be just one server. If you had the content installed, it would just load into the. They probably could change the file system a little bit because, well, actually, you don't even have to change the file system for Call of Duty. I've looked at how they lay out the files. If you download the game, all of the files go into the same folders. They could do it like that. It's literally just the way they're doing it. The centralized launcher idea I think is good. I just think the way they executed it was bad. If it worked for Master Chief Collection, there's no reason Call of Duty can't make it work for themselves too.
But that's the thing, though. Does Activision want to put in resources to make it work? Like,
They have Master Chief Collection, and now that they're part of Microsoft, they could get the code for how they did it with Master Chief Collection.
Exactly, but it's like they're gotta want to do it though. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless Microsoft's like, "Hey, we need you to do this," they're gonna do it. But if Microsoft's not telling them to do it, they're like, "Fuck it, whatever." Like, I
don't know. Like, I think they're eventually going to be upgrading the engine.
Oh, gotta be, or at least upgrade the app or whatever the fuck, or some shit. Like,
well, they're eventually going to upgrade the engine. Like, they don't have, just like CS:GO did, they don't have to necessarily like make a new game to upgrade the engine, or even Fortnite being made on a completely different version of Unreal than it's on now originally. So like they could do like that. They could just upgrade the engine and have people download an update, and now it's on a completely new engine. But like that would be fucking huge. Or they could do what they've always done and build a new engine and make a completely new game built on top of that engine.
It's probably gonna be that, because
that's what they've always done.
Yeah, exactly.
Except it's not even really a new engine. They always just update the engine there. Like, that's exactly what Fortnite did. You work on an engine, you're usually not, if you're building a new engine, you're usually not starting from scratch. You're jumping off from somewhere else.
Well,
Call of Duty even make their engine originally. They pull it from another company.
Exactly. But when you go from Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare 2018, it's like two separate games. If you really think about it. But like you said, it's the same engine from Call of Duty 4, just updated throughout game cycles.
Right. And Treyarch at one point in Infinity Ward were using they are based on the same original engine. They were both updated from the same engine. But they were completely two different engines. But they're from the same engine, so some of the same stuff worked between them. But like I think from Cold War, that was the last time Treyarch used their special version of the engine. Ever since then, it's just been the Infinity Ward engine. Everything's been ever since Black Ops Cold War.
Wait,
it's
so
just been the Infinity Ward.
Modern Warfare 2018 in Cold War, they use the same engine, but Cold War is Treyarch's version of Modern Warfare 2018's version of it.
Of the engine, it's a same. They're not. It's confusing if you track that Call of Duty. Every single Call of Duty, in a way, is using the same engine all the way back to the beginning, but they update it over time. Treyarch made their own version of the engine with their own special updates that Treyarch games were made on, and Infinity Ward made their own version of the engine where they made Infinity Ward games on. They both are starting from the same engine, but they're two different branches. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So they're kind of the same. They're kind of different. So then, as they go on, they become more different. So eventually, they merge back together, and they have one big engine, and then they split off again. Now, from what I hear, after Cold War, they're not doing that anymore. It's just the Infinity Ward engine. Cold War was the last game where Treyarch had their own special version of the engine.
Okay. And now, when Black Ops 6 comes out, it's nothing like Modern Warfare 3. They have the Omni movement and the whole shit.
It's the same engine. It's the update. Like, they are updating the engine, basically, over time.
Yeah.
It's one engine. They're not...
So, does that mean when the new Infinity Ward game comes out and it's going to have Omni movement?
There's a chance the next game, like, possibly, they could take it out. Omni movement might not be a part of the engine. That's just like me using Unity and making my own Omni movement in Unity. Does that mean every other Unity game is going to have Omni movement? No, it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean it's actually put into the engine. The engine's just a platform for you to build the game on. So the Omni movement might not be an engine thing.
Okay. Because, like, when Advanced Warfare came out, which what Sledgehammer made, and then Black Ops 3 came out, which Treyarch made, and then Infinity Warfare, which Infinity Warfare made. Advanced Warfare to Black Ops 3, it was almost the same game but two different games. Like
Right.
there was some touches or whatever, but when you go from Black Ops 3 to Infinite Warfare, it's literally identical to movement and the whole shit. Literally identical. It's the same game, just different graphic, different guns, the whole shit. And that's what I'm saying.
There's always been points in time where they merge the engine together.
Yeah.
Because Treyarch, Infinity Ward, they had their own versions, and I think the main reason why they said no more of that was because they had with Black Ops Cold War. Whatever they did with Cold War, Treyarch had a lot of issues with their engine. Not Treyarch, but Activision pretty much said, yeah, fuck your engine. You're just going to use the Infinity Ward engine that we just updated.
So does Sledgehammer use their own version too, or no?
No, Sledgehammer uses the Infinity Ward engine.
Well, I'm saying with Advanced Warfare or World War II, I guess you could say now, was that the same? Or was it their own different shit? Because if Vanguard came out, it was literally on 21 for 2019 copycat, but just Vanguard or World War II.
That one. Vanguard was absolutely using the 2019 engine, and one of the reasons why, because Treyarch made the zombies, and that was the first time Treyarch was using the Infinity Ward engine, which explains why zombies didn't quite turn out quite right at the beginning of Vanguard, right?
Yeah.
Do I know what specific engine Sledgehammer was using in the past? Not exactly. I'd assume they were probably using, since they were introduced on Modern Warfare 3, they were used to the Infinity Ward engine at that point. They probably used the Infinity Ward engine.
For World War II?
Yeah.
I would think so. I to be honest, I couldn't feel a comparison to Modern Warfare 3 or to the Infinity Ward to Sledgehammers when World War II came out, but it wouldn't be known.
But sometimes things such as movement, how fast you move, how fast is your walking speed, how fast is your running speed, those are not necessarily engine specific things. The engine could have code built into it to make a character to run and walk, but the part of it where it's the actual speed, how fast you run, how fast you walk, that could be just a variable that it doesn't matter what engine you're on, you just change it. You can make it faster, you can make it slower. That's not engine specific. Any of the developers, you could be using the same engine, you make a character the same way any of the other people working on that engine make a character, and then you just say the speed is faster or slower, right?
Yeah. See, when Core was supposed to come out, wasn't it Sledgehammer and Raven making a game? Or was it Treyarch and Raven making a game? No, it was Sledgehammer and Raven making Cold War at one point. And Treyarch had to come in and actually make Cold War.
I don't know about that specific story.
Because Sledgehammer and Raven couldn't think of what to do.
When Cold War?
Was it, I think was it Vanguard? Because Sledgehammer made Vanguard. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know I've heard stories where games were the game that came out was not actually the game that they were originally making, so they actually had less time than they originally had. And then I've also recently today watched an interview with Vonderhaar, right?
Yeah.
And he was talking about the actual time span and some of the history of zombies, which some of that I already knew, but time span, everybody was expecting them to right after they got done with one game to start the next game, but really that's not how it worked, because they were working on the previous game still, when they're doing updates and stuff, and then when it actually came time to working on the next game because they were writing stuff for the next game. So when it actually came time to actually develop it, they only had like 9 months to make the game for like any Call of Duty.
So
They only had like
Black
nine
Ops
months.
1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3.
Well, at least during the the Von der Haar years, like that, yeah, because he's not there
But
anymore.
but didn't they have like 3 years to make a game sometimes? So you mean
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me it took them a year to actually like discuss what game they want to make? Or was it
Yeah,
because they were
they had they were working on the previous game, keeping it patched, updating it, making DLC during the year long. And anytime anything bad happened, anytime the community would respond poorly with something, they might have to completely change what they're doing for that year.
Mhm.
So like basically that eats out of the time that they can start working on the next game. And so when by the time they actually get down and dirty and actually producing it, where they've already, written some script, they know what the game is going to be. They only have 9 months to make it.
And then like so all those trailers that you would see was like maybe a month or 2 months into actually making the game.
Right.
Holy fuck. And then when multiplayer came out, they would what 6 months before the
Well, it
game would.
depends on what you mean by making, because like there is the writing aspect. Because like when he said that, I'm assuming he means like actually like code to fucking computer. Um, but I'm sure some of that time before where they're not actually like physically making the game, they're absolutely discussing it. Like they have to come up with ideas. You don't just start coding a game without any ideas of what it's actually going to be.
Well, but like even when me and you discuss games and whatnot, like
Right.
I would think someone that has like 8, 10 people discussing about a game could get a lot more done within a year of discussing the game than what me
Right,
and you can.
I'm sure at the same time, like they could be having like 3 or 4 groups of people pitching ideas to each other and then coming into a meeting and they're like, okay, that's a cool idea. And then they break that down even more and people start coming up with storylines. And then they're going to end up eventually deciding on a specific storyline, maybe taking ideas from one storyline to the other. So, like, yeah, more people can make a better story. And then they have the artists, so you have the people there just discussing shit, discussing the story, laying out like what the story's going to be. Then you have the artists and stuff who are going to visualize it. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that gets scrapped.
Yeah. I could see that and whatnot. Now, the one thing in Vanguard that I really liked, and they didn't bring it back because maybe it was because people didn't. I liked it. Was the it was a mixture of face off and like battle royale aspect, or like a tournament aspect shit, if you know what I mean.
For which one again?
For Vanguard,
Vanguard.
you know what I'm talking about. That
You
that
talking about what are you talking about? Are
okay.
you talking
So
about the world? Like, or
okay,
which mode are you talking about?
okay,
I think I'm getting confused. I get confused between World War II and
okay.
then
Vanguard that came out for Series X.
yeah.
Okay, okay. They came out. You know how Face Off became a thing for Marvel for 2019, right? And they brought it
Right.
back in Cold War. For Vanguard, they still had, I guess you could say, Face Off, but it was on a map of you were put in this like room area or like area, and there was like maybe 24 people. And let's say you're doing like 2v2s, okay? You and me would go in against another 2v2, okay? And we would face off. And then let's say another, a bunch of other people will face off against you. And then if we win, we go to the next bracket.
Was
And
that
then
Vanguard or was that World
that
War
was
II?
Vanguard. That was not World War II. That was Vanguard.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am positive because I remember playing with you and Kaylin at one point. We would play this face-off move, but it was bracketed. So like we would win and go to the next bracket, and then go to the next bracket, and then go to the next bracket. And then the next thing is we'd be the last people standing, would win the whole tournament shit.
Right.
It was face off to a certain extent, but we would win. Or it was face off, but it was like bracket tournament based. It was actually pretty fun. And
you're saying like that was in the one where you were in the big area where everybody was spawning in, and like you go walk around, and then there's the area, the pit that you go into, and you do the 2v2, you do the battles in there, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yes.
I'm pretty sure that was
No,
World War
that
II.
was Vanguard. That was Vanguard. I'm being dead serious.
I don't remember having a PC at the time I played that game, and I have Vanguard on the PC.
I'm telling you, face off
When was the last
or
time you played Vanguard? I have it right here. I can install it.
I remember because I
I
put
don't have
a
World War II on the PC. I have Vanguard on the PC.
I remember playing it because or the last time I played Vanguard was before Modern Warfare 2 was out, I think. And I put time into Vanguard, and then when Season 1 came out, I stopped playing it because I took a break from Vanguard. I barely put any time into it.
Well, I don't remember which one. I get Vanguard and World War II confused all the time. So that's beside the point. What was your whole point in talking about that?
My whole point of talking about that was they never brought it back. They never brought that back.
That mode, that thing, not the mode, but like the whole community pit. Like that was basically like, I don't know what they were trying to do. They were trying to make like an MMO. Like, oh yeah, like you're in the war, like this is the whole like battlefield. This is, like if you're if you're a soldier, like you'd get deployed and like you have like the deployment base and everything, and that's basically what the area was. And then there's the whole pit, which was like the whole competitive zone.
And it was like failed. It was basically a little tournament. I liked it. I liked it.
I liked it too, but like the vast majority of
it was a different. I feel like Sledgehammer went on a different look of Face Off. Like they did Face Off, but it was like in a tournament bracket base. You know what I'm saying? Which I liked. Yeah. It was something different than just regular Face Off, because I don't think they did have regular Face Off. They just had that, which was. I liked it. It was cool. Like, of course, you had your moments where you were like, fuck this shit. But at the end of the day, when you look on it, I liked it. It was cool and whatnot. And it sucks that they didn't bring DMZ back either. Like, DMZ could have been something real special for Call of Duty. And they kind of just didn't do it no more. I'm like, okay, that fucking...
Yeah, like, it's that whole thing with, like, oh, is the fam... Like, because they're... At that point in time, like, they're... At this point in time, Call of Duty is as much as they're still selling it as a product, you're still buying the game. It's a game as a service.
Yeah.
Right? So, games as a service, particularly free-to-play models, but this isn't a free-to-play model, you're actually paying for the fucking game. But the free-to-play models, basically, like, they put something out, if not enough people are enjoying it, or if not enough people that are playing it are actually spending money on the game, then they're not going to continue it.
By the way, if you hear like the vibration, that's me massaging.
Oh, I heard that. That's on your
I'm massaging my fucking body because I'm sore as fuck. So if you hear like that's me going against my body and like massaging it. So, but anyway,
how are you after your workout?
Oh my god. So I was I wasn't sore when I got off. Yeah. It wasn't till like 4:00 at night. I was like, oh my god, I'm feeling it. Like, I picked up a pallet and I was like, I'm sore as fuck. I picked up a pallet. I was like, I can't do this shit. I was like, yo, this shit. And then I came home, ate some shit, went to bed, woke up, and just felt stiff as a rock. Like, I was stiff as fuck. my body was cracking every movement I took, type shit. Like,
Dude, you get some stretches in.
well,
Did you stretch this
I've been
morning
doing,
when you woke up?
huh?
Did you stretch when you woke up?
A little bit, yeah. But I've been using this gun, and like, it's not that powerful. Like, of course I've had massage guns that were even more powerful than this. But the secret to this gun is you push down onto to your muscle, and then all of a sudden you hear this zzzz, like you're getting electrocuted basically, and that feels like, when I started doing it, it was hurting like a bitch. I was like, oh my god, this hurts. But then like your muscles get used to it, and then like it starts to feel actually kind of good. Oh, that hurts. That probably is not good for the podcast, hearing that. People are like, what the fuck is that noise? But yeah, I'm pretty fucking sore. Like, I might have went too.
You ready for your workout tomorrow?
Oh, I don't know about that. Like,
you were so on board. You were like,
I don't know about that one, man. Like, I'm pretty.
I think you should do it like several times a week. Like every other day would be good. But like if you're pushing it as hard as you're pushing it, maybe because like I said, when after you work out anyway, I was like, you don't need to push it so hard, especially when you're like just beginning back into it, because you don't really know. You remember what you used to be able to do. So like you go into there.
Well, and, like, yeah, like that was my whole motto. Was like, I'm not gonna push as hard. You know, we're gonna work out. Mm-hmm. And then when you actually fucking get into it, you're like, I was like, man, I want to go 200. Like, I want to see what I can do. Right. And then like my friends were telling me like, yo, you gotta chill out. Like, you got work tonight. Like, I get to go home and go to sleep and call it a day. You have work. You're not gonna be able to chill. You won't be able to sleep till the next day at 7 a.m. Like, right. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then like you just get pumped. Like, man, I want to see if I can, because like, you know, when you're in the gym and you're like getting all down and dudes, you're like, man, I want to see what I can do. I just want to see I can still bench 200, which I can. Now 225, don't know.
Didn't you say you maxed out at 250?
240 something. Now, I don't know if I could do 240. I don't even know if I could do 225. But I do know I could do 200 because I did it. But it was like, I just did one pump. Like, I was just like, I wasn't going to do like, when you look on camera me doing it, it doesn't look like I was struggling, or it doesn't look like it was that heavy for me. When I actually did it, I was like, oh my god. Like, it was actually like, holy fuck. But when I was working out in 2019, or doing it like from 2017, 2019, I was able to bench 200 maybe 3 or 4 times. Just back to back. Boom, boom, boom. 3 or 4 times. Now, I just wanted to see if I can do it. And I only did it one time. And that was...
Now, what do you think in the difference between like maximum weight versus maximum rep? Or like not necessarily maximum rep, but like, you know, we talked about this yesterday a little bit, but like like kind of having the happy balance between weight resistance and being able to do a lot of reps.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
there's a lot of people with the mindset push till fail, but then you get into the kind of feeling like you're like how I was at that one time where it's like
when you were with your brother,
and I'm like out I can't fucking do anything for a week.
Well, like, I would say, like, when you're actually, like, trying to get progression, I would say reps more than push to your heart content type shit.
Right.
Do reps more than that. But, like, it's always cool to hear in there, what's my max for this month? Boom, it's fucking whatever.
I'd say, like, you can have your sessions where you go your max.
Yeah.
Right. But like, not every session.
No,
for
like
me, some people might be perfectly fine with that, like doing that. Not for me.
like my legs was sore as fuck at 4 a.m. Like, and I didn't even work out my legs. it was
Mm-hmm.
probably the walking, the cardio I did, and doing
Uh-huh.
extra cardio after that when I'm at work. I'm like on my feet, fucking,
Yeah.
walking around. So like at like 4 a.m. my legs were like, yo, you gotta chill, bro. Like, you go the fuck home, or like stop walking. And then by 7 a.m. I was like, I was so pooped, man. Like I was like, yo, I'm fucking done. Like, I couldn't. If they asked me for overtime, I'm like, man, I can't do that shit. Like, hell no.
Yeah. I'm sure if you keep up with the workout routine, whether or not it's like every other day or like every couple days, you know, um, as long
Uh,
as you're consistent with it, like I'm sure over time your body's gonna get used to it with the work schedule. You're gonna be able to like maybe not even necessarily think about the schedule. Maybe if you can't come up with something, you might have to actually come up with a good schedule. But like certain types of workouts based worked around like how you're gonna feel the next day or next night at work or whatever.
well, like eventually, like, well, that's with anything. Like, eventually, your body get used to it, and
Right, right,
and
right,
you won't be, you'll be hurting, but you won't be hurting as much.
right.
You know,
Because like you haven't really worked out in a minute,
bro, it's
like
been
so.
it's been since my nephew was
Right,
born.
right, and like for sure, I know from experience, if you go from not working out for a minute to working out, like you're gonna get used to it. Your body is gonna get used to the resistance. You're gonna be
Your
able to put in the
body's gonna
work.
get used to the stress of
Mm-hmm.
having to go work out for 2 hours and then not taking a, like, basically taking an hour and a half chill out to go into work for another 9 hours and being on their feet. You know what I'm saying? My body will get used to it after all, but it's not
I
gonna.
mean, yeah, like you don't necessarily want to like push too much energy because like at the same time, working out, rest for an hour, work for 9 hours, probably work, but like some people that like it depends on the workout. You might end up having to like work out less than you would if you were not to go to work 1 hour after a 1 hour break in that session, right? Um,
Yeah, like, you're not
if you
wrong.
had a 2 hour break, you'd be able to work out a little harder. If you had a 3 hour break, you'd be able to work out a
Well,
little harder.
I'm kind of
Like,
surrounded by Andrew's schedule, so like,
right, you're
it
surrounded by like, yeah, it's a compromise. So you're already making a compromise, and it's perfectly fine. And I'm sure you'll be perfectly fine finding your balance with your workout and your work from there. 1 hour might not be ideal, but I'm sure like you'll be able to find your workout where you have that 1 hour intermission between work and your workout.
yeah, like, I would think so myself, but at the same time, like, it always takes time for your body to get used to adjustment. Like working nights, it was hard for my body to get adjusted to some of
Right,
that shit.
right. And you still kind of like you're on a pretty good schedule, but you still kind of fuck yourself with like you getting up earlier on, like having that kind of like trying to keep up with day people since you're a night person. Like you kind of have those days where like it kind of fucks with that a little bit.
Like
You're not in an
like
ideal
my
situation.
my coworkers, they on
Hmm.
their day offs they stay up all night. I'm like, man,
Right.
I like literally I could do that, but am I going to do that? No, because
Right. And
I'm
in
at.
some ways, like what you're doing, it's not ideal. In some ways, what you're doing is good because you need to get sunlight. You need to, you know, it's good for you to get sunlight. Um,
Yeah, it's not good to be, you know,
in the dark
in the
constantly.
dark, because not in the dark right now because I have my lights on, but like
Hmm.
pretty much like I'm in the dark. Like when I come out of my room to go use the restroom, or like when I come out of my room in general to like out of sleeping for 8 hours or whatever the fuck, and you go outside and you see, like, bro, that's blindy. Like, you're like, what the
Hmm.
fuck am I looking at? Because like you're like, it would be different if I didn't have my blanket over my blinds and I I had the sun coming into my eyes and
Right,
shit.
because they would fucking, because you started doing that because it was fucking with your sleep during.
Exactly.
Right,
And like
right.
I now like since my body's used to waking up and it still be dark, now it's like I can't sleep that 4 hours or I can't get a whole hour of sleep, but now my body's used to it. So it's like whenever my body's used to something, that's what I've kind of gathered is whenever my body's used to it, then like it kind of goes back to what it was before it was used to it, where it's used to it, but you're not gonna get as much sleep or
Hmm.
as much sleep as you did before. Like when I did have the blinds on, man, I would sleep like a fucking baby. Like I would, and now it's my body's used to waking up and it still be dark. It's back to like what it was, where I can get 8 hours of sleep, and I do sometimes, but like my body gets the bipolar shit again, where it's like
Right, right.
it will get 8 hours sleep for 2 days, 3 days, and then like the rest of it, like I'll sleep to like 2, or I'll sleep to like
What do you
3.
think,
So
like, animals that are naturally nocturnal? Because, like, I don't know, there's a big history with, like, humans and, like, mostly being up during the day, but, like, even looking at, like, I think it's, like, the Aztec or the Inca, I don't remember which one, but, like, there'd be groups of people that, like, worshipped the night and groups of people that worshipped the day. So they basically had a societal night shift and a societal day shift, and people that were night people and people that were day people.
yeah. Well, isn't that like if you only up during the night, aren't you considered basically nocturnal?
Basically, but like, do you think like animals that are naturally nocturnal? Because like humans have basically shown to like primarily be day, like not nocturnal, but like there's groups of people throughout history that have had those type of like nocturnal traits. Um, but like animals that are naturally nocturnal, like how do you think like because if you think of circadian rhythm and like stuff like that, like where sunlight naturally affects the way you sleep. If like you're a night person, you could literally like if you had a window right next to you or you're like camping, you could use the sunrise and the sunset as like a natural alarm. You see the sun start getting in your eyes in the morning and it starts to wake you up.
Yeah, like
The sun starts to go down, you start to naturally get tired. Like I find that a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder to be like right out in the sunlight and just like, oh, I'm gonna just go to sleep unless you're like super fucking tired. Anyway.
yeah, like I feel like that happens. Like I don't know, like
But like nocturnal animals, like what do? The sunlight makes them tired, and like the moonlight or like the dark, they're like, it's time to get up. So,
I have no idea how that works. Like I'm not nocturnal,
like
so
I know with like my bearded dragon, for instance, like for a lot of reptiles, they like for night. If you want to have like a heat lamp at night, you can use like an infrared bulb, right? But like infrared bulbs are not recommended for bearded dragons because it can disrupt their sleep.
really.
Yeah,
But what type of bulb is it again?
infrared.
Infrared bulb. I would thought like it wouldn't interfere
And to us, like it's
because
not
it's
pure infrared. Like you see red light come out of
because
it.
it's purple,
But like,
right?
yeah, yeah. Like, well, that's all true. Like that's kind of like violet. Like, yeah, it's kind of infrared itself doesn't. You don't actually see
Well,
it.
infrared. Well, oh, not infrared. I was thinking the black bulb. You know the black bulb, and you turn it on,
Right,
and it's
right,
purple.
right,
That's the stuff that
right.
like,
Yeah, that has infrared in it. Yeah, it's
yeah.
purple.
So like, would you think that would affect their sleep?
Yeah, that would affect their sleep.
Oh, it wouldn't affect my sleep.
It wouldn't affect your sleep because you can't see infrared. And like that bulb kind of like it gives off light and you can see that light because it's not pure infrared either. But like that type of light doesn't really like you know how like they say blue light from like a your phone screen or like a TV screen or a computer screen kind of like can mess with your sleep.
Yeah.
Um, that type of light coming from an infrared bulb like that does not do that. But like to a bearded dragon, it does. Like the lizard, it does.
They could see that shit?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. Cause like infrared, like you almost
We
can't
can't see
see.
that. We can't see it. Like, I mean, I've done the thing where like, because technically, if you have two infrared photons like enter your eye at the same time, it looks kind of like that purple like light like you're talking about. But like if you don't see the light coming out of your remote when you push a button on it when you change the channel on the TV, right?
No, but also
That's an infrared light bulb at the end of your remote.
exactly. But also, if you put the camera up to the infrared, the camera would see it, which will make you see it.
Right. I mean, in some phones, they've put software in it to stop them. Like, they basically, like, manipulate the shutter speed, the virtual shutter speed,
Mm-hmm.
of the lens to, like, not be able to see it sometimes. But, like, there's always a way you can see it. And I think one of the reasons why they've made ways to not see it is because with, like, face recognition, like, the face recognition technology, they're using a lot of infrared light. So, like, if your camera can see it all the time, then, like, you can see if you took a picture of somebody's face while they're doing a face ID scan, you could see a bunch of dots pop up on their screen from that.
That's fucking crazy, man. Because like I know that infrared has been a thing, and like you could see it, but like them like manipulating the situation and make it where you can't
Mm-hmm.
see it. With
Mm-hmm.
even a camera, shit is kind of like mind-boggling in a way.
Well, because we're using it everywhere, because it's used for measuring stuff. It's used for facial recognition, which is all that's doing is just measuring stuff. Like when you do the facial recognition, it makes a bunch of measurements of your face, and then like the reason it works is because then it checks the measurements on your face, and it's like, yep, that's right. There you go. You're logged in.
Well, even if you had a green laser, that can fuck up your eyes. And isn't that
Yeah.
infrared?
No,
That's not.
you don't see infrared. Like the only time you can see infrared is if like two photons were to go into your eye at the same exact time.
Really?
Yeah. And that's what's called a virtual photon. It's not like what you're seeing is not real. It looks like one photon to your eye, but it's really two.
It's two. Two what?
It's one virtual photon made up of two infrared photons.
Okay, it's made up of two infrared photons. So,
Yeah.
and your eye could see that. Your eye can't see that.
Your eye cannot see the infrared photon, but it can see the virtual photon that two infrared photons can make, which is that blue purple light.
Interesting. So, and
So if
that,
there's just like one infrared photon, you're not going to see it at all.
but there's two. You could see. You could see
At the
without the
same
camera.
exact, it has to be two at the same exact time. The camera can see it. The camera can see it just fine. Your eye can't see it though. Your eyes don't see it naturally.
Exactly, but if you look at the camera, you could
Mm-hmm.
see it then. So how come? So that's what I'm trying to say. So how come if the camera sees it, then you could see it, but if the camera's not seeing it, then you can't see it?
If the camera sees it,
Yeah.
it's because the camera's not made up of the same thing as your eyes.
Mhm.
It's just a light sensor. And then like it tries to so then the camera goes into the phone is digital, the camera takes in data from the environment, it's measuring the light coming in from the environment and sending it into a pixel array, so each pixel gets a value which is represented in either RG or B, so then everything's going to be within RG or B, and we can see RG and B.
Yeah, we could see that for sure.
So because the camera can see the photon, so the camera can sense the infrared photon coming in. Um, and we can see all of the values your phone camera, like your phone can show as a pixel, then it's going to show up as one of those values. So whatever it's going to show up as, you're going to see it as. That doesn't mean that's actually what it looks like, though, in like reality.
What other animals can see infrared? That we
I
can't
think cats
see?
can.
You think cats can?
I'm pretty sure because they're known for their night vision, right?
Well, yeah, like that's well, lions, tigers, like they're all
Right,
cats. Like
right.
I would think that's true then. That they could see infrared, maybe. I don't know. Like
And birds.
birds can
I
see
hear
infrared.
birds can because what like they say I heard something in a documentary about like birds being able to see in infrared, and they're talking about owls and how owls look completely different through an infrared camera than they do normally to
Like,
our eyes.
wait, what
Like
do you
they look
mean?
very boring and like brown and like stuff to us, but then if you look at them in infrared, like they're very colorful.
So how come they look? So how come they look like that then?
Look like what? Colorful
Yeah.
in infrared. Well, look at other birds. Look at like parakeets or parrots, right? And they're very colorful birds, right? To our eyes, we see them as very colorful. If they see an infrared, then they're even more colorful than what we see them as, right? Um, and then the owls, like it could be mating. So why are birds colorful? Birds tend to like be very flashy for mating. Like you have peacocks, like they dance for each other, right? So they're very flashy. So in like birds, they're very flashy. Well, you look at an owl with our eyes, and an owl doesn't really look very flashy. It's kind of drab. Like an owl looks cool because owls look cool, but like it's just like a very bland brownish color, right? Or like a
Yeah.
very bland white color. Like owls come in different shades, but like to us, they're very bland color. But like if you look at them in infrared, then they're quite beautiful, like with their colors.
Yeah.
So like maybe it's for mating, and maybe
I
it's
would.
also for camouflage. Because like if we don't see an infrared, I'm pretty sure most like there's a lot of animals that don't see an infrared. We don't see an infrared. The owls do.
So like that would blind them, maybe.
What do you mean it would blind them? I mean it could.
No, like
Yeah.
what I meant by
I
not
mean
literally blind them, but like you look at a light and you're kind of blind. That's what I
I mean
mean.
infrared could blind you too. You
Really?
know what infrared also is? Your body's also you're also giving off infrared. You know, like a thermal scope or an infrared camera, like you'd show up as like a reddish color, right?
Yeah. That
Because you're giving off infrared. Heat is infrared.
heat is infrared.
Yeah.
Wait, so that's wait. So when I just saw like, oh, the reason why you take a picture with like the flash on or like whatever, and motherfuckers' eyes are like fucking red. You're like, what the fuck? That's
No, that's not infrared. That's like I don't know what that is. Like that's an artifact from the camera. From That's a camera artifact, and like it only happens to some people, so like it is genetic. So like it has to do with genetics, but it's with how like our eyes reflect light. I'm pretty sure.
well, isn't that like not a good thing then?
I
You
don't
know,
know why. Like if I don't know how it negatively affects anybody. There might be like stuff about it that like oh if your eyes like if you have red eye when camera flash, then that means you have cancer. Like
what the
I don't
fuck?
believe in most of that. Like that's the type of shit like that it sounds like you're talking about. Like how could it like I don't think it's necessarily bad.
I wasn't gonna go that far. Like, if you have red
Right,
eyes,
but that I'm basically like showing you like the insanity of that question. Like
oh, okay.
I don't know like if it actually means anything bad. Um it's like genetics. Why is one person's eyes blue and one person's eyes brown? Like I don't think it matters. Like unless like there could be a connection to like something like, oh, if maybe you have bad eyes, maybe you need glasses. Like I don't fucking know.
Well, I think it just says we're all different. If you
Yeah,
really look at it, like, if
yeah,
you do have like, if everyone had brown eyes, wouldn't it be boring? Like, you have brown
right.
eyes, like that's why some
I
people have
mean,
blue.
having what is it called? Diversity is a great thing.
Yeah, diversity.
Hmm.
Well, like I don't know, like if you go with that, you know, a boy changing to a girl, that's kind of diversity. But then you get into the whole realm of, you know,
Right, but like
transgender.
the way I generally think about it is like if it doesn't mess with me, then I don't really give a shit. Like, what does it matter if somebody like shit? If somebody tells me they had like a operation to change, like I'd probably wince because like I'd imagine like I don't want to get my dick chopped off, and like you're telling me a story about your dick getting chopped off. I don't really. It doesn't sound comfortable to me.
I don't
But
know, like at work, there's like a whole joke me and my coworkers say about, you know, trannies or transgender people. It's kind of fucked
right,
up. It's fucked
and
up.
like not all of them go that, not all of them go that far with it.
Okay, dinner's ready, so we're gonna take a quick break. We're back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Great.
So, Itchy.
Yes, sir.
What do you want to talk about next?
Um, let's talk about some plans for the upcoming months for projects
Okay.
for house projects.
So, we're gonna start with Fortnite first because I kind of want to start with Fortnite first. So,
Okay.
with Fortnite, I know what I said about, you know, after next year we're
Uh
not
huh.
gonna do well, we as in me and
May
you
or may not. It
main
depends on factors,
factors.
right?
I do want to eventually get into the whole creating of a world or map, not world, but map, and get into all that and actually make a map that's actually tournament worthy. You know what I'm
Playable,
saying?
right?
Playable for competitivism and whatnot.
Right. Particularly with the what spectator mode is
Yes,
what you're at.
yes. I eventually.
Which people could obviously try to find a mode, or like one of if one of your fans are talented enough, they could make a mode like, hey, and play on this one. I remember what like just randomly playing Fortnite back when you were like doing Fortnite frequently, and like Chibi was around more frequently on the channel. Um, I just popped in her world like on Fortnite one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, okay. I didn't even realize. I don't know if it was her world or one of her friends' world, but it was like a private. It was a custom map.
Did it look
So
good?
yeah, it looked great. It was capture the flag game.
Was it like red versus blue, or was it just like free for all type shit? Or
It was each team had their bases, and you had to go capture the flag from the base and take it to yours. It was like Call of Duty capture the flag,
okay, okay. Well,
except like also like red versus blue, you spawn at your base for
so
like
how
so.
I would want to do my tournaments, because doing teams is kind of difficult because no
Mhm.
one can set their shit up right. You know what I'm saying? Because when we did teams last time on Rock League, it was a
Well,
fiasco.
I mean that kind of goes into the website project, which I'm putting work into. Who knows? Like this again, we're talking about stuff over the next year for Fortnite specifically. It's next year for that type of stuff that you're making a cutoff point. So over the next year, if there's any developments on like let's say the website team making teams might be easier with that if that gets done. So like I wouldn't say that's a definitive thing, but that would be something to consider if that gets worked out, you know.
Well, why I said that, because the last time we did it, and you know this, it was a fiasco, and no one really had a teammate. So like,
right, because it was with the post, and then like basically not everybody from the post showed up, and like not that many people signed up as a team on the post. We had like what, maybe 3 teams, and only 2 showed up, right?
something around that parts.
And then everything was last minute, and basically everything went down to there was only one full team of 2 because the other one of the players left. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a little bit harder to manage. But I think if we get like I think for now without the website, teams are probably not a good idea to
Well, that
coordinate. I think the website can help manage it. It's a definitive. We don't even have to do any extra work to compile and everything. Basically,
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm like, I don't want to do teams because of that reason. As in,
uh,
I don't want to go through another shit of that. That's why it's easier to do a free for all 1v1s because free for all, you just go into the game, boom. 1v1s, you
right?
set it up, boom. There's no.
Shit, like you have free for all games, and you have like that. You could do that easily with like 100 people. Would do like several free for all games, and you can make that like which game you went we lost, this game won that, like shit. If you wanted to do full like 6-man free for all game contest, if you were big enough to have like hundreds of people wanting to do your contest, right? We could update the bracket system to manage like that
So, like, if it
specific.
was 6-man team, like free for all teams, how would you go about it? Like, whoever wins that moves on to the
Well, you
next.
basically get through everybody, and then you count
The winners?
all the ratios. Yeah, you count all the ratios and stuff like that. The winners and the ratios. You might have multiple factors on top of that. You know,
Yeah.
so it might not just be who won, but it could also be like kill death ratios and stuff like that.
Well, I feel like that would. Shit. I feel like that would be interesting. Now, like, we could do, like. Well, I would assume we would do, like. I don't know how kill ratios would work. Unless, you do a little math. Someone went 20 and 13. I don't know how would you do how would you do the kill ratio on that?
Well, okay, if 2 people have the same kill death ratio, then obviously the one with the higher kills wins. If they have the same kill death ratio and it's the same number of kills, which would imply the same number of deaths, then you count assists. But like also, if one of them won, then obviously the winning score is better than like having the same kill death ratio, same number of kills, but not winning. So like that's why I say there's multiple factors to it. Like you could, if 2 people have the same kill death ratio, you could have the same kill death ratio with one person having more kills, and obviously that person's on top. And you can have the same kill death ratio, but having a different number of assists, or like whether or not you win. If you both won, then you like what during the first layer of the bracket, winners move on anyway, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't know, I'd say there's probably like factors we'd have to make decisions on if we're to actually turn a full-fledged 6-man free-for-all or an 8-man an N-man or an N player to be inclusive. Not everybody's a man. I don't think everybody's a man. Do you?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh,
Wow.
but like a 6 N player free-for-all competition. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
so
was
like if there was 100 people and you did that would 100 people is 6. Would that be 6 times 100 or no? How many match?
100?
Huh?
How many matches for the
Yeah.
first round, first layer? So that's 100 divided by 6.
Oh, so my math was way off. Uh, I don't even like what would.
It's gonna be less than 20.
Well, that's not. That doesn't sound that bad. Then less than 20. I thought it was gonna be like
But
shit.
that's just the first. That's just the first round of the bracket.
Yeah,
But like I would imagine a contest like that taking more than one day.
several days, possibly.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if it's 6 people it's 6 people games, and
yeah.
whoever wins move on to next bracket, and you keep going, you're gonna get to a it's gonna get smaller, but it's just it depends how long these matches are. If they're like 10 minutes each, holy
Hmm.
fucking moly, like that would be that's
Well, how many hours is 200 minutes?
how many hours that's
60
that's
minutes.
like what
Divided by
four that's like 4 hours.
something like that. 60 times 2 is 120. That's less than 4 hours, but pretty close.
Okay, so I was off, but
You're enough. I'm not doing exact math either.
okay, so like 3.5 hours, say, so like 3.5, maybe 4. That's like a long fucking session of matches, or
Hmm.
that's a long session, and then on top of that, you need to excuse me, my bad. And then there's other matches you need to do after that with other winners to go on to like that's a long tournament. Like that's like you said, days.
Yeah. Which, like, we've talked about that before. You're not. Last we talked about it. You're not entirely against doing something like that.
No, I'm not.
Kind of
Again,
like what that other app I'm working on for is kind of help do.
yeah, like I don't know how we would make a bracket like that though. Like how would we put that bracket into play?
You would just have the list of players. Like you'd be able to like bubble them up into matchups, and like if I might even consider it because like a full match might not like the first 6 people might not be like all ready for that first match. So I might try to make it to where like you can it'll do the automatic groupings, but like you can change the groupings manually.
Interesting.
If that makes sense. Just in
Yeah.
case for like people not showing up and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, like a 100 player tournament. No doubt, there's gonna be some people that are not gonna just show up because
Right.
shit
Like you could
happens.
do the forfeit thing, but like you want to fill it up. Like if there's gonna be any match with not a full group of people, it should be the last one. Because if it's free for all, should it really matter if it's a full match or if it's a 1v1?
No, it shouldn't matter.
I mean, it might affect things a little bit, but like I don't think it should matter as long as like if you're in the group of people that's going to be in the small team, the small match, I'm going to guarantee you're going to be in a big match your next time round, like a full match.
Yeah. So basically, like you just what we just keep going until we have 6 people left, and like that's the final match, basically.
Right, less 6 or less people. If you can't group the last group of people as 6, it's going to be less than 6. It might be a 1v1.
Damn.
So like there are ways we can stop that. We could guarantee, but then there's going to be like we're going to have to do a lot of compensation with trying to make sure people play the same number of matches and all that.
Which
So then,
I
which
know.
would expand the amount of time even more.
Well, which like that's what I'm saying. Which I know some people get really weird about. Well, he played less matches than me. How come he's in front of me? Blah 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 blah
Right.
blah
If
blah.
we're gonna just make sure everybody's just gonna play one match, then the tail end, if we don't have like something perfectly divisible by a full lobby amount of players, then uh, we're gonna have a match, at least one match that's not gonna have enough. At most, one match that's not gonna have enough people each round of the bracket.
Well, no tournament is perfect. Like no matter how much you try to get it to be perfect, no tournament is perfect, you know?
Right. I mean, the only thing we could really do to remedy that is to like add a lot more like rounds to it, where like people are not getting eliminated until after a certain number of rounds.
So how would you do that?
You just have that's exactly how you do that. You basically just shuffle matches like up around like basically randomly, trying to get everybody mixed in as much as possible, basically having everybody play against everybody, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then like at the end of that is when you take the stats. But that's going to add a lot more matches. If it's less than 20 for one time round, it's probably going to make that go up to like I don't know. I'm not going to fully do the math
Yeah,
for,
yeah. You don't have to
but
do
like
fully
that's
do the
going to be
math,
like
but
a
it's gonna be
a shit
well,
ton more.
like, like I said, like nothing's perfect. Like you're always gonna have some type of fuck up because that's just you have 100 people. Okay, nothing.
Right.
You can try to make it go as smooth as possible. You're not going to. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna have some fuck ups. You're gonna have some delays or some shit
That
that's
repair thing, like if you were actually like gonna do something where you're gonna run like one contest through like a whole season, just like NBA or something like that, that would be like the perfect remedy because then it wouldn't matter how many people are in it. You'd be able to perfectly make the matches until it starts getting into the elimination rounds. Just like basketball, just like football, um, just like soccer. You know what I'm saying? But
now
like if
okay. So like, how
it's
would
not year
if
long.
you're doing a match or you're doing a tournament a whole season? Let's use Fortnite for example. Okay,
Mhm.
if you're doing a season, a tournament season, the whole season, how would you put that into play to make it go as long as a season and have like elimination rounds in the whole shit? Like
Well,
how?
basically, where it gets elongated is the number of matches you're playing before elimination rounds. The reason why you extend that is to make things more fair, to be able to ensure that there's going to be like the statistics that show up are going to be balanced, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you just need to have enough matches to balance out the statistics, and then once the statistics are balanced out, then you use those statistics to eliminate people
Okay, so when it gets like towards like the end of the season, you start using statistics to
to
eliminate.
eliminate.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like,
Which so basically you have the playoffs because like once eliminations start, it's nothing but eliminations from there.
well, yeah, so like, so basically you play games like, how would we pick people to play games like, or would it just be random like?
It could be just random. Like once it's established, like people might expect certain like it might become big to watch certain matchups. So like it might over time become like this is the popular group to watch, so that's the group that it's gonna be. But like it random is just as good as that.
So like, what the you tell? Okay, so like if we did the fucking
Because like
what's
basically you started off random. Everybody's matched up randomly. The first round, it doesn't matter. But like the goal is to get the most balanced statistic as possible. So basically you want to have it balanced out so everybody plays against everybody equally. And as long as you can do that, and if you have a set number of players in a contest, you can always figure that out perfectly. You can figure out the exact number of matches you need to be able to do that. If you need it to be longer, then you basically got to double that number up again. So that's how many more matches you're going to need to be able to do that, like with more matches than that.
okay? So if a season for Fortnite, let's say, was 3 months, I would say so, right? Like 3 months.
Mhm.
And let's say you have, let's use 100 because that would be the easiest way to do this. You have 100 people. How would you mix in 100 people in a season of matches until like you get to the playoffs and be like
Let's
these.
make it 120. If we're doing 6-person games,
Okay, so
right?
120. Okay.
How would I split this off?
Into
Well,
like
if you had 120, it wouldn't even matter. You could literally you would have okay. So let me see. I have to get every single combination. So my calculator is dying. I'm gonna do the calculation math on
you
here.
could do it on your phone, couldn't you?
I could do it on my phone, but the calculator has the actual button for it. So
Okay. I'm sorry.
120. Where is the? I actually don't remember where the button is, so I might be able to do it on my phone better anyway. But it's a pick button or statistics button. Mode. No, not that. I don't even fucking remember how to use this thing at this point. Where's the statistics?
Okay.
Wherever it is. It's a lot. It's a lot. 120, pick 6. Or choose 6. Yeah, it's pick 6. Hold on. Where's... My Face ID's not working right now. Hold on.
Okay.
What the fuck?
While you figure that out, we're gonna go on another quick break. We're back. Okay. So while we were on break, HE figured out the
Yeah, but I don't think we necessarily need to go to this extreme to be able to have... Because basically everybody just needs to be able to play against everybody else at least once, right?
Mhm.
This one makes every unique combination of everybody together, which is probably to have a matchup with one person being in the same match as somebody else is going to be a subset of this. But the answer would be like 12 billion matches, more
Holy,
like 12,800,000 matches.
holy shit. That's a lot
If
of
you
matches.
if you had every single combination, disregarding the order in which the combination is put in. I think it would be a subset of this because all you really need is just player A needs to verse player B at least once. So like this one has every combination of player A and B being in the same match with every other combination of whatever other players are going to be together in there. So that's like a different. So it's going to be a smaller number than that, way smaller.
Way
number than that.
smaller number.
Yeah.
So if you were okay, so we did it more on the how do I put this? We did it more so every player plays one player once. And there's 120 people.
Mhm.
And we want to extend it to 3 months.
Right.
And there's 31 days within a month. It's 31 days. And 30, 60, 90.
How many matches a day would you have to do? Is what you're asking?
Basically, yeah, like how many matches a day.
Okay. So
And
120 people.
I would assume we're not gonna do this every day because that would be daunting. So like if we did it like once a week, every other,
I don't know. I'm gonna have to pull out a pencil and paper and really scrutinize my math here, because like I could come up with a quick answer, and it's probably gonna be wrong. Like with that whole thing, me going down that whole choose and pick probability thing. Like that's along the right line. The choose thing is gonna some group of within that choose thing is exactly what you want. So it's like a subset of the choose, not the pick. Well,
Yeah.
the choose is also a subset of the pick. So like in a way, you could just go with that and you could ask AI to find the answer for you. You could just give the AI that and then the AI would be able to find the answer for you.
Well, I would assume that I'm gonna go off a win here because I'm just gonna go off a win of what the math would be. I would say 120 people. There's 90 days in a month. I would say to get through all that within 3 months, you would have to.
Because 120 people, how many matches just for the first match, right? You have to think about that first.
Well, if you're facing one person per match, like, and what we're doing,
it's not 1v1s. It's six. It's a 6-man free for all.
Yes.
But like you're right. 120 divided by 2 is 60 matches. But like if you're just talking about the first round, it's going to be at least 20 matches for the first, just for everybody to play one game. But if you're talking about every pair of people, it's going to be 60 matches. So the answer is going to be between 60 and 20 matches. Because it's for sure less than 60, and it's for sure more than 20.
It's for sure less than 60, but it's for sure more than 20.
Yeah. And
I'm saying for the first round of brackets.
Just the first round. That's like before you get to the eliminations.
So I would say we would have to do at least 10 matches. Well, if we're doing them like once a week, I would say it'd have to be more than that. Because 10 times 4 is 40.
Mm-hmm.
So 40. So 40. That might work. 40.
40, 40, 40?
Mm-hmm.
40, what do you mean 40, 40, 40?
So if we did 10 matches every week.
Right.
That leads up to 40. Because it's 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
10
right.
times 4 is 40. So that would, right. I feel like that would work.
That might work. I mean, 40... I think 40 might even be the answer, Spawn. Like, I'm not doing the exact math. That's like... I know it's more than 20, because that's just to get the first round of matches, everybody play one match. Mm-hmm. If you paired everybody up in a group, 1v1, that's still... No. Is it less than 60 or not? I don't know. Because I have to really sit. I'm speaking faster than I'm actually thinking. It might be bigger than 60. Because that's 120 divided by 2. That just groups everybody up into pairs. And then I think I need that. If I'm going to go from there, I think I need to go further than that. It's going to be more than 60. Because that just pairs everybody up.
Okay. Well, there's 6 people in a free-for-all match, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there's 120 people. You do 10 matches per 6 people. So 6 people do this match, 6 people do this match, you know, in the whole 10 matches. That's like what? 6 times 6 people, 10 matches. Is that 6 times 10? Or no, that's not 6 times 10, right?
6 people, 10 matches. What are you trying to find the answer to?
If we can get through because if we can get through the first batch of people without,
which is just the first 120 people,
exactly,
like 120 people, right?
Exactly, yes.
And you have people in 6, so you get 120 divided by 6, which is 20. That's 20 matches. So you'd get that done in 2 days, or like 2 streams.
Yeah. So, would we be able to get this whole tournament done in 3 months if we did 10 matches per?
So basically, you have the combination of everybody in there. So I could sit and walk through this. I'm not gonna. I don't really want to.
Yeah, I know. I'm not telling you to do that.
But like one way you could do it is by basically, you have what person was in the match along with that person. Basically, try if you have 20 matches. So what's 20 divided by 6?
4.
It's less than 4. It's pretty close to 4. 4 was a good guess.
3.
But it's 3.33 repeating.
Okay.
So you're not going to be able to like perfectly do it with like one more set of matches. So it's going to be greater than 40. Um so from there I think you're at least going to have one more.
By the end of the year, or by the end of the
No, no,
season, I
no.
mean.
Like one more group, so like 60 might be it. 60 might it looks like from that answer leads me to 60, but like that's a repeating digit number, so like it might continue from there. So,
Which that digit goes on forever, right? That's
yeah,
one. Okay.
right.
Well, we can keep speculating and make this go on for fucking forever, but
Right, like I'm not sitting doing rigorous math. That's
no,
like
I'm not.
I'm
I'm not.
doing quick math. Like,
Yeah, like I'm not telling you to do rigorous math or whatever. I'm just saying like I like that would like tournament like that would be something like I would have to be pretty big to fucking do to like where I don't have to really do it. I can just have people do it for me and
mm-hmm.
whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like where it it it's a season and people are at a stadium or at a convention and they're there to play for a whole
I mean,
season long.
shit, you could have like a contest going on where like you have it be just like how you'd be running a Minecraft server. You'd just be having people running private matches. If we have the website up, for instance, you'd have people running private matches, entering the data into the site for people to come look at. People are operating in the competition, joining in on the competition, putting it in the data, and then the only thing you'd actually have to stream would be the playoffs. Or like
Yeah.
whatever matches that you're particularly doing. Not everything necessarily in the competition has to be streamed, but like because the reason to extend it, it's for one, it's a community event. You're running
Well,
a season long competition. It could
exactly.
all be broadcasted, but it doesn't all have to be broadcasted. You
Well,
could do if you get people like if you know what I'm saying, like they could
yes.
be streamers, but they might want to just be part of the contest, but they don't really
Want to
want to be
stream it.
right.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying like if like for Rocket League for example, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If we can get if I get big enough and talk to Epic Games be like, look, we want to put our servers on your shit and like you said like, well, what do we get out of this? Like obviously you would get some type of promo. Your people would be playing your game and like
Right. Like I mean,
but
I'm
of
sure the
course like
way they
money wouldn't be involved too, like you know they care about money, so if they're making some type of profit off of it, that's cool too.
right, right.
But like
But like
some
being able because you know how they put up the I mean, they obviously have the links in game to their streams while they have the Rocket League tournaments going on and shit. Like you can watch them live, like and they advertise it right in game. Like maybe down the line they'd be open to allowing other organizations to do that, but I doubt that. Like they might be able to allow us to have our own servers on there, if we give them enough money. Like probably like
that's what I'm saying,
an
like
obscene amount of money.
and insane like what $100,000 $1 million type shit, insane amount of money,
Right, right.
like that would be something where like I would have to have
Like 300 grand probably.
well like to Mr.
Like
Beast
that's
that
not
ain't
out of the
nothing.
picture, right? I remember before Unity changed its model, there was a version of Unity out there that was like 300 grand.
That's fucking crazy. But even like at the same time with all that shit, they're like if you know money talks, okay? Money is a real big factor. So if you have money and you go to these big corporations, let's say Activision for example too or whatever, you go to these big
Mm-hmm.
corporations, you say we want to put our servers. If we pay you this amount, this much, let's say every. Did you hear?
Well, yeah, I heard that. I would
I
say,
try to mute my mic. I'm sorry. What I
yeah,
was
I
trying
would
to
say
say
like,
is, hold on. What I was trying to say is, money talks, and you put a sane amount of money, They will do
on the
it.
table. They will, yeah, I'm sure.
They will do
But
it.
it also depends on their mindset too, because like Call of Duty, they started their own league, right? They're not going. They're not a part of MLG. They're not a part of these other esports organizations. They started their own organization, so they have a monetary incentive to like not allow competition in their realm.
But even at the same time,
Because like MLG has like moved on.
well, MLG was Call of Duty. That's what MLG
Right,
was. It was Call of Duty.
but that wasn't official. Like what
No,
was it?
I don't know, but
I don't remember which
I
one.
know MLG was Call of Duty. Like when you thought of
Right.
MLG, you thought of Call of Duty.
You thought Call of Duty.
Now it's like they moved on to other areas and shit. They don't even do Call of Duty like that per
Right,
se.
because when Call of Duty started their own esports thing, that was not MLG. MLG was before Call of Duty officially started doing it.
Exactly. So like, if you want to, that's the same thing with Fortnite, and that's the same thing with Rocket League. They have their own esports type shit. So if they let a contender to contend with that, they're like, oh no, we can't do that, man, because then you're gonna ruin our shit. Like, when in
I
reality,
mean,
like,
obviously, I would not imagine Epic Games being too against it. I mean, they might be more against it now than they were in the past, but like, you know, those gaming arcade type places that people go to, they're not really arcades because you could play full blown PC games, and they host tournaments and shit there. Um, there was very frequently like one near me where they did weekly $100 Fortnite tournaments.
exactly. But at the same time, if it, like Epic Games might be more persuade than let's say Activision per se, but like
Mm-hmm.
if you have a lot of money and you go to these big corporations like Activision or EA even or Epic, and you say we want to put our servers on your game or whatever to be able to have data of what some people go into the server's place. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll give you $300,000. I would think it'd be more than that, but
Well,
$300,000.
actually, Call of Duty used to be a little bit more open because you remember those sites where people were able to track live like player data,
They still do.
and like they don't do it as well though.
Yeah.
Like, you know how they do that? It's because they have API access to the Call of Duty stats. They don't really have much of that anymore. Most of that's gone.
Yeah.
That's why like a lot of those sites don't even work right. Like they just have old data.
Yeah. I hear you on that. I don't see like that's what I'm saying. Like money really talks. If you put a seam amount of money, even though Activision's a $1 billion company and they make money like that hand over fist, but if you put a seam amount of money, let's say $10 million per se on the table, they might renegotiate
But
some
then now Microsoft has final say.
Exactly. Which, like I said, money is a big factor. Money talks. If you put your dick on the table, they might want to renegotiate.
Right. Like I don't think there's much they can do because like
Of course,
you
you would
could
have to
run
talk
contests.
to. You can run a contest.
You could run a contest. Like obviously Nintendo's a little bit more ornery about it. But like
I still might do one though for Super Smash Brothers, maybe.
yeah.
I don't think it will
Like
get that big.
right. Like what I like they have a lot of restrictions for Smash Bros.
Yeah, like
A lot. And they don't want you to play the older versions, which even though the actual like competitive fan base really prefers the older versions.
well, and that's what I'm saying. As in, like, I don't know, like, I want to get into the esports scene. It's hard. I don't have a lot of money. You don't have a lot of money, and it takes time for shit to actually build it up.
I'm not just trying to get into the esports scene.
We're trying to build it, and if you look at it from a wider point of view, it's really like you have to have faith. You have to like believe that
Right, there's
it's
a lot
good.
of risks, and you can't take a risk without, because like if you're
Reward.
knowingly facing like danger in front of your face and you choose to walk down the path of danger, you have to have like a
Sometimes,
little bit of something
yeah,
pushing you in that direction.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like you know, the competitive scene is really big. There is some casual players. Is there more casual than competitive? It could be a little balanced there a little bit. I would
I'd
say
say probably there is more. Like, there's probably the number of people that are into competitive are probably greater than the actual number of people that are in competitive. Like the number of people that like you say, everybody wants to be a pro gamer, but like not everybody's gonna be that. Not everybody's gonna
well, not
actually
everyone's gonna be an NBA player or NFL.
right.
Like,
Not everybody's gonna, and even so, like even some people that could, like not everybody's gonna take the full steps. They might be just forever waiting for people to find them, even though sometimes you just got to take the proper
well,
steps to do it.
exactly. And like, I would assume, or I would say, or think, like, if you can't get into NCS, which is a really hard place to get to, or the FNCS, or Call of Duty,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, you go to the next optional part or subject,
Right.
as in,
Like you should go to any of the, like obviously not every place has one of these like PC gaming places that you can go to and do contests and stuff. Not every place has that, but there's also places online where you can go to. Unfortunately, a lot of them are like gambling sites where like you go and gamble on other people doing contests and shit, and like winner, that's where the winners get their money from. Like if you're actually doing the contest, in most states it's illegal to charge money. So like either that's an illegal gambling site or the people in the contest don't have to pay anything to get into it.
well, but at the same time, like, as someone, like, you're not gonna be able to become an NFL player. I'm not gonna be able to,
Right,
but
right.
or MLB or NBA. But you watch it. You know what I'm saying? As in the same shit for FNCS and RLCS and Call of Duty. You're not gonna become one, but you're gonna watch it. You might try, but 9 times 10 you're not gonna watch, or you're not gonna actually get into it. But if you have a chance to actually be in a competitive tournament, not the same value as FNCS, or 9 times out of 10 they'll join it. But like, it's all about the person actually. Like, I'm not gonna
Right, you
get.
just you start somewhere. Like even like bowling, for instance. You're not necessarily in the PBA where like you're making like bank, but like you could literally go to any old bowling alley. They're gonna have a league, and some of those leagues, like if you're good enough, actually pay out.
Yeah, that is
Like
true.
you're not gonna be living off of it, but like it's like supplemental money.
Exactly, and that's like, of course, like, do I want my tournaments to get to those type of values? Of course. How long will it take to actually get there? That kind of depends. But like, it's all about you, or the person who's in the tournament, or me in you, to have faith into actually making it a reality. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Bringing the NOS tournaments into the big leagues. Of when you think about NOS tournaments, you're like, oh, that's like a real league now. Like, that's not no just play shit or a real tournament
Right.
thing. It's an actual real thing. Eventually, I want to get there. When is gonna happen?
I
Oh,
mean, looking at like, because we just looked at your monetization a little bit. I mean, we got a little bit of information out of it. We have some speculation. Um, obvious last year your contest was paid for itself. Right now we're questioning it. Like, I'm not going to do the math right now, but there's still a good chance that it is going to be able to pay for itself this year. Um, I mean, it doesn't really look that way right now, but it's only the first quarter, right?
yeah.
So
It's only the first quarter. Like, like, you kind of go on a, well, what else do I have type shit.
right, right. So, but there's a chance it's going to continue paying for itself. Right now, it doesn't look that way that well, but like another 3 months down the line, we look at it again.
I would
We
say the tournament's channel lifetime has basically only made 31 views, which that ain't nothing. Like, that's whatever.
But you
like,
haven't really been like, knowing what to really do with it either.
yeah,
Like you've uploaded the tournaments on there,
yeah.
but you haven't really done the other content.
And
Much of the other content
do I
stuff.
plan on doing more content? Of course, but like,
Mm.
all that takes time. Like, that takes effort. That, you know.
I personally think the other not this one, not the NOScast channel, but the OMG It's NOS channel is just for sheer like being able to have the contest pay for itself is a better place to put that for right now. But you need to take the sacrifice to build it and to begin with. So
Well, I
it's
do
not the,
I do stream it, so it's not like
mm-hmm.
it does pay for itself while it's streamed. It's just when I
Right.
edit it and cut all the booga out, basically,
Right.
it gets uploaded on the NOS tournament channel, which that doesn't have any monetization. No money's going into that besides the stream, basically. So like,
Right.
it does. There's some money involved into the tournament.
There's a little bit. Like you have a little bit coming in. Which there's nothing against it. Nothing against it. I just think it'd be able to have more utility for you right now elsewhere. On the OMG It's NOS channel. But
yeah.
I think but you have to make the sacrifice eventually anyway. To have the competition channel because I think you want the competition to be separated from your persona NOS. OMG It's NOS is all about your persona NOS. Eventually having a channel dedicated to the contest itself to separate that makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. So like a bit like, of course my name's in the fucking shit, like, of course, but like at the same time,
Well, the NCTs, it's never gonna be fully separated from you as long as it's the NCT.
yeah, like Fortnite NOS competitive tournament, like,
right, you want to be a part of this. That's your mark on the esports world, NCTs.
yeah,
I mean, it
NOS
might be a big mark yet, but like you're just trying, like you know how like what the kid in the back of the class just trying to like etch something into the desk, like you're just like trying to make your etching like as clear as possible. Like you have a little etching there. NCTs exist, but like nobody, if somebody was to sit in that same desk, they wouldn't really notice it. You gotta etch it in deeper, so like somebody comes and sits on that desk, they're gonna notice it right away.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's kind of like, putting your mark into the esports type shit.
Right.
And like, of course, I want to do that, but like at the same time, it kind of goes beyond of how I want to do it, where I want to take it, how much effort I want to put into it, and whatnot. Because like what I'm trying to do involves a lot of editing. Like, it does. Like, it involves
a lot of work.
It involves.
You either need to have time or money.
It's probably a little bit of both. Like, well, no.
It's a sacrifice. That's where the whole idea of time is money. Like, to pay for somebody to do it for you, you need to sacrifice time to get that money to be able to do that to begin with. So that's where the idea time is money.
Yeah, for sure. Like, time is money, and like, it goes as far as long as, I can make a tournament, or I can do tournaments, but if no one shows up, is it really?
It's worthless.
It's worthless. Like,
that. Again, if nobody shows up, you don't gotta pay.
Well, yeah, like, well, that's what I'm saying. It goes as far as long as it takes people to make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do it by myself. You can't do it by myself or by yourself. But if everyone comes together and try and make a tournament actually happen, because it's a group thing. It's not just me. It's not just you. It's a group thing. You know what I'm saying? The people that are doing the tournament are the tournament. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me, even though
Yeah,
my
the tournament is the platform. Well, I mean, Rocket League would be the platform, but like the tournament is kind of like a vessel for your community. Like, yeah, it's a tournament. Like, there's prize money. You're trying to build the whole esports scene, but it's also building the community. You need to have the esports needs to have a community behind it for it to work. Doesn't matter. NCAA
exactly,
needs to have a community behind it for it to work. There needs to be fans. There needs to be athletes.
exactly, and like, and it also takes faith too. Like, if no one has faith in it, is it really gonna work? Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it
Well, that's
that's
where like your effort, like that's why I say like how long, if it's not making money, how long do you plan on keeping it up? Because that's your level. You're the person operating this. It exists as long as you make it exist. You're the person where the faith needs to rely in. And right now, that faith is in the form of the money you're putting up for it. Well, actually, this at this exact moment, yeah, but like last year, you put the money up front. That was your money, but you got that money back at the end of the year when you got paid out by YouTube.
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this year's the same thing, but like you're putting up your money up front. You have to have faith in it to be able to do that if you're expecting a return.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it if the person is not if the person is putting the tournament into play doesn't have faith in it, why should other people have faith in it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If they have faith in it, then it's like, well, if they have faith in it, I'm gonna have faith in it. It's kind of like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But if you don't have faith in it, the person that's putting it into play, then why would you expect other people to have faith in it if you don't have faith in it? They're
Mm-hmm.
like, well, if he doesn't have faith in it, I'm not going to put faith in it either because he doesn't have faith in it. That's like, you know, I'm not going to put myself out unless you're going to put yourself out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
Right.
kind of how it works. And that's how other people like look at it, as in they're going to have faith in it as long as you have faith in it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're putting effort into it, putting money involved, doing all this shit, they're going to put their 2 cents into it too.
Right. And like your community's faith in it, your participants' faith in it impacts your faith in it. Because like you're the fundamental faith. If your faith goes away, it doesn't exist.
Exactly. Well,
If their faith goes away, then it degrades your faith. So like that's what's going to lead it to not existing. But if their faith is strong and you have a strong community behind it, then like that's going to strengthen your faith and like ability to do it. If their faith is strong, if there's enough people coming into it, you wouldn't even have to think about the money that's going into it because it'd pay for itself right away.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
I mean, obviously, aspects such as like prize money, like a $10,000 contest, is way more exciting than
we'll say like if you put like these are small like the most
these are
ever.
small. This is, but like everybody, like again, everybody starts somewhere. Like there's plenty of competitions out there where there's no money involved at all. It's just for bragging rights. You can sign
Exactly,
up to be
but
a part of the
some
company,
people get involved in that because they want to brag. They
right?
don't
And
care.
or they just like the game. They want to be able to be like, how good am I actually? Like all these people here, if you're playing a competitive game for competitive reasons, and the reason why everybody's there is to test their ability. That could be just the way you have fun. You could have fun by participating in a contest. You could be in a league of some sort, a bowling league, uh, a a golf karting league, like
Golf karting,
racing, huh?
golf karting racing. That
Yeah, you could fucking dude. There's people that do tractor racing, bro.
I know that one.
Right, like
Track.
go like in what's it called, the lawnmower racing.
I know that one. I've seen actually like some stuff on that. That looks pretty
Right,
cool.
right. People do that shit, and sometimes it's for money, and sometimes it's not.
Well, like I know a lot of kids that actually do my tournaments are there to either one just have fun or two to see like what they can do and three to like be like, yeah, I won NOS's tournament. I'm a tournament winner. Blah 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 blah. And
Right. It's a whole aspect with your community based thing. Like all of this stuff adds together, and it's good for your. I think it's good for your channel. Um, I don't. I'm kind of like I don't want to tell you what to do, but like I don't want you to spread yourself too thin at the same time. Because like you have a community, you have people that will watch you. You could tell them exactly where to go, but you know how hard it is to get them to go. Like obviously, Discord's one example. Like, oh, I can't go on Discord. My parents don't want me. It's like, cool, okay, that's understandable. I've known you've gotten frustrated about that in the past, but like, you know, usually that's how the cookie crumbles. Like,
well, that's why you said like the website could be better because it's not Discord, and it's like it's a website. It's not
mhm,
Discord where, like, I'm not saying Discord can be fishy, but like a
mhm.
website could be more like not
Well,
fishy.
there for one is not gonna. There's not gonna be any like. You're not gonna add friend requests and private chat people on there. There's gonna be none of that. No real personal information except for like maybe like an email or like I don't. It depends on what we need to make an account. But like, there's gonna be for sure we're gonna have to do stuff. We're gonna have to like. We're not gonna be able to legally allow kids under 13 on there.
Mm-hmm.
To if we have a sign up. So like there has to be either a sign up or a way for people to like sign up without actually having to make an account.
Well, have we ever established how we're gonna do that or no?
If we have them make an like have do it without making an account, then there's a way that they could like accidentally like have a typo in their name, so then the stats don't track correctly. So it's a very difficult problem. Account is and having an account is the easiest solution that fixes all the problems, but like it's illegal to like push accounts to kids under the age of 13.
Yeah, but like at the same time, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, there's always kids that have accounts and like they're underage and whatnot
Mm-hmm.
and shit. Like,
Like for sure, if we're gonna do an account stuff, like I'm gonna have to write up like a terms of service and stuff and like all that before
like
we release
if
it.
you're under 13 and you get an account, we're not responsible, or I don't know, some shit like.
And like they would have to get parents' permission. It'd be up to the parent. That's that's the law. We're not like allowed to. Kids are not under the age of 13 are not legally allowed to make accounts. I mean, they can do whatever the fuck they want, but like you're not allowed if you're operating you're not allowed to knowingly give kids under the age of 13 accounts.
I think I was like middle school when the first time I had a Facebook, which I think middle school is under 13,
Like 12,
like
like
12. I was like what, sixth grade, I think.
yeah, like 12,
Yeah, 12. I believe so. No, what, high school is what, 13 and up, right?
13, 14. It's 11, 12, 12, 13. Or hold the fuck up. How old are you? I don't even fucking remember. You're like 5, 6 in kindergarten, 6, 7 first grade, 7, 8 second grade, 8, 9 third grade, 9, 10 fourth grade, 10, 11 fifth grade, 11, 12 sixth grade.
So I was like 11 or 12, and I had a Facebook account at like 11, 12 years old.
Oh, same, same.
But I don't think that law was put into. Was it put
It
into
was
it?
put into play in 1998.
Okay, so like yeah, faked. I faked my birth. I faked my birth identity when I was like 11, 12 to get on Facebook. And then when I was of age, then I reverted back to my actual birth and I was able to stay on Facebook. So like literally kids can actually do that. They can just revert their birth date to make it
Yeah, that's why it's kind of like they're going to like very big. It's ultimately up to the parents, but like the law is like trying to go in some states are trying to go to like super fucking major extremes, like requiring like IDs and like facial recognition and all that.
Facial? How would you do facial recognition?
You link the game to your phone. Like let's say it's a PC game, or let's say it's a game on the Xbox. For you to be able to play the game, or for let's say they even make it in the future to where for you to even play online on the Xbox, you have to have facial recognition. So you have it connected to some mobile device with facial recognition.
Holy
So
shit.
when you go to log in, facial recognition.
And if you look like you're 8 years old, you
Hmm.
can't get online.
Right.
That actually that actually fucking works. Like,
Yeah, but it's like crazy because that's like imagine like some hacker has something against you and they hack into like the facial recognition software and they pretty much figure out how you look like and they put you on like the child list. So like when you get checked for like adulthood, boom, you're banned. You can't play because some hacker got into the system to do that. Like anytime we have this like data collection where it's on this and you have this biometric data on a server that we're expecting them to keep protected, how many times out of 10 do they get hacked?
shit, a lot.
Right. It's not a good idea. It's overreach.
Yeah.
It
Like,
would work, but like shit, you'd have some cyberpunk type of fucking criminals out there.
shit. Most definitely. Most definitely. You would have, like, it would get crazy.
Right, like watchdogs and shit, like that should be real, bro. Like it's like not that extreme, like
I don't
not to
think
that
it's
level.
that, like, I don't. How real is Watch Dogs even?
Okay, so imagine you have there's a building with like a networked camera system, right?
Which
Um
that is a real
how
thing.
many people have Amazon whatever the cameras are? You know
A
what I'm talking about?
lot, a lot, a
Right.
lot.
Those things are connected to the network. Okay, so now imagine you have something called a flipper zero, right? Product is completely legal in itself, but it's a hacking tool. So like there's a lot of things you can do that are completely illegal with it. You can hack into people's networks. You can hack into people's garage door openers. You could
Holy fuck.
even copy keys and passwords and data over like a local. You could fake like you could fake Wi-Fi and you could like let's say go up to a building, put up a free Wi-Fi sticker, put up the password, people log into it, and you have it, and it's all it is the little device that's in your pocket, and now you collected all their information.
Holy shit.
Like it's not like
And,
that
like,
was a
Amazon
couple years
hasn't
ago.
booted up their security as of, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, this isn't the only device around. This is years old. Like it used to be very easy to get. You could buy it on Amazon,
Exactly.
but like you can't buy it on Amazon anymore. It's not illegal to actually own one, but like you could do very illegal things with it.
Because, like, I know a lot of people that, like, got the Amazon Bell, and, like,
Hmm.
you can look at people through the camera and shit. You can talk to people. Like, if you have the app, you can, like, what do you want, or just leave it there, or, like, you could talk to people
Right,
through the
right, right.
camera, which is, like, weird for say, because, like,
Hmm.
you know what I mean. But, like, I don't know, like we just have a regular doorbell. We don't have no Amazon shit, nothing. Like, my parents got away from all that security shit. Like, they got away with all that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of because they're old. They don't want to deal with it. They've been paying these monthly fees and the whole shit for it. They finally just got away from that. Do
Right,
they?
like you could get your own network cameras. Like I mean, again, that comes to the conversation of not everybody wants to run their own servers. That's fine. You could get your own cameras, run your own servers, and you wouldn't be paying a monthly fee.
Yeah, but not everyone wants to do that. That's why
Yeah.
Amazon would be better, because all that work is done for you, basically.
Right.
So, but, like, at the same time, I don't know, like, it would be cool to have some type of security, but like even like Kaylin's mom has went overboard with all the security they have. She has cameras around every corner of the house. She has cameras within inside the house. Those cameras have like audio so they can hear people, like hear what you say and whatnot. Like it's crazy shit to some people and whatnot.
Right, right. I
And
mean,
like
shit, we live in like a Watch Dogs type of era. Like, it's not as crazy as like the game, but like some of the shit that that happened in that game like happens in real life.
exactly. Like I don't know, like to be honest, like I've always been told by people like you don't need all that.
Shit, Teslas get updated over the internet, so like they have a wireless connection to them. So like you could, in a way, like if you figure out their encryption system, you could hack a Tesla.
see that's crazy.
Yeah.
But even at the same time, like I was told, even not just by parents, but just people like you don't need all that security. Just go get a dog. Just go get a dog. If you
Right.
get a big mean dog, ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. Cause if they hear, rah, you know that bark, they're gonna be like, okay, time to go. Because they're not gonna fuck with no dog, especially if like some people have multiple big dogs. Man, that's like
Right.
terrifying.
Right.
Unless you have a gun, then that's different. But even that, like, you know, robbers 9 times out of 10 don't have a gun with them. They're just sneaking through shit and whatnot. You know, like I've never
Yeah,
robbed a house.
it depends on where you're at.
Yeah, like I don't have like you know, I've never.
I don't have all the robbers that robbed me never had a gun.
No, like my house has never gotten robbed. Knock on wood. But like the people like my neighborhood has gotten robbed. There's been a lot of people in my neighborhood that has gotten robbed. Like, but me no. Like there's been houses that are right next to me get robbed, but my house haven't gotten robbed. I would be very devastated if like I came in my house, all 3 of my monitors were gone, my PC was gone, the whole shit. Like I would be like, my life is over. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole YouTube career would be gone if my PC was robbed. Now, like
Right.
if they got my Xbox and shit, you could take that shit. It's all good. But like as long as I have my PC, even though I have a laptop, so it's not completely over, but it's like
You'd be starting back in the fucking gutters.
yeah, I'd be like having to buy me a whole PC again and shit. Like nah, man.
I mean,
I'm not-
you've already been talking about building another.
Well, yeah, like I still have the one PC I bought last year that spent $600 for just the motherboard and the CPU and
Which one? Which part was faulty? Was it the motherboard or the CPU?
I would have supposed it's the motherboard that was faulty because I took it
Oh
to
no!
my
Remember the CPU was bent, had bent pins.
the well okay the
Or which
C,
one was it?
the
No,
CPU
motherboard
didn't
had-
have the motherboard had been
Sorry. It doesn't,
So-
the CPU doesn't have pins. The motherboard. Yeah, the CPU pins on
exactly.
the motherboard.
So when I took it to my cousin, he's the one that actually said it looks like you have bent pins. Now, like you can't really see it because
No, I told you that too. I said from the camera, I was like, I can't tell, but those pins look bent. And then you went to your cousin, and he told you the same thing.
yeah, because like those pins were a lot more shinier than usual.
Yeah.
And like when you look at all the other pins, they look okay, and then when you look at those pins, you're like, yeah, they look bent, but you can't tell.
Yeah.
But there's a little more shinier than usual. Now, if you got a microphone magnifying glass and actually looked at it, maybe you could see the bentness of it. But to be honest, you don't know. Like, and like my cousin even said, like, just give me the parts and I'll build you your PC. Like, of course, like he didn't say I had to pay him, but mom was like, you should pay him anyway.
Yeah, that's. I mean, shit. At least a $50 commission, bro.
Exactly. So like, my cousin was like, just give me the parts and I'll build it for you, and you're good to go. I'm like, all right, cool. Have
Shit,
have I gotten the parts yet? No. Like,
I've been looking at PC parts right now. Right now is not a good time to buy. Because like I'm building one for my cousin. My uncle's giving me some money to build my cousin one, and like I'm looking at parts right now, and the prices are overblown right now.
So, like, what did you tell your uncle?
Well, I don't. There's not like there's a specific time. It's a summer present for my cousin.
Okay.
So it's not like because he did really good in school or whatnot and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it's a present for my cousin.
So you still have some time to actually get it done, though, right?
Yeah, I have some parts picked out, but like the prices are like I have some alternative stuff I'm looking at. I'm looking between well, I'm most likely with the prices right now, I'm most likely going to go with Nvidia cuz like the equivalent AMD graphics card is a little over, like just a little bit more at the at this exact moment. But like who knows, maybe a month from now it's going to flip over.
Okay. I feel like we should end it here. Do you have anything else to say before we leave?
Um no. Ride the pony to Jupiter.
Okay. This has been NOScast
NOScast.
episode 32, I believe. Peace out.